Welcome to Soul Tea with Marie. I have a special guest. She was on probably about a month or two ago, and she will be on again tonight. But I just want to let everyone know that always, if you want to do any readings with me, to go to AntoinetteMarie.net, or also you can reach me at Instagram at Soul Tea with Marie, or on Facebook as well. I don't use Facebook as much, but Instagram I do. So any intuitive readings that you would like, any mediumship readings, if there's any loved ones that you would like to talk to on the other side, or if you like to meet your guides or angels, I can help you with that. But let's get started and let's introduce Leslie. Leslie, how are you?
Oh, wonderful and fabulous. How are you?
Good. So you were on the show before because you wrote a book about twin flames.
That one.
Yes,
My favorite.
exactly. Yes. So this time, I know you're in the middle of writing a new book, and I would love to discuss that book. And I know that has to do a little bit with your twin flame. Where to begin on that? So let's start with this. What is the book about?
Well, it started off as a book about the Akashic Records, and I didn't vibe with it. And thanks to my friend Antoinette, um, I was kind of kicking around some ideas, and I came across my notebook of my happy little world. I've talked about this world in so many different ways, in so many different times. I've done guided meditations, I've done short courses, but I've never actually just kind of put it all out there. So this world is on the plains in between this side and that side, and it's called Arkin.
So just to explain to the listeners, so it's a world that is not on Earth, and it's not also on the other side. It's almost like if you were to have an NDE, you would go to this plane of existence. You're not quite fully over, you're here. And and you called it arcane?
Arkin, yeah.
Arcane.
It's so
Okay.
funny. Like I super long story about how I learned the name, but I remember my master guide because I had asked, "What's this place called?" Because I started visiting it after I met my twin flame, who's on the other side, and I was like, "What's this place called? Does it have a name?" And my master guide Roman was like, "Yeah, Arkin," and I was like, "Major or minor?" Like what are you talking about? So, and that's honestly how I got the name. I didn't even know it before that moment, but I had been coming there always. I just didn't have it in my consciousness until that moment.
So when you say you've been coming there, what does that mean exactly?
Well, when we're talking about the higher side, really all it takes is an elevated vibration. So if you're sleeping, meditating, or like you said, if you have an NDE, or if you temporarily step out of your physicality for a moment, that doesn't put you on the other side. It puts you on the higher side. You have to go a little bit farther to get to the other side.
So
And this,
almost like astral traveling, unless you have an ND, would it be like
yeah,
that?
yeah, almost like that. And so this happy little plane of existence between Earth and the other side is the plane we're talking about. So it's kind of like the white stuff in the middle of an Oreo. That's how I
I like
explain it
that.
sometimes, okay? And so this is where, when you raise your vibration, you can go to. And it just so happens that whenever I do this, spirit will lower their vibration and meet me in the middle. In the middle, for me, is Arkin. So I go there to see and learn from and like my dad has a house there, you know, and but that is our up until quite recently, it's been our private little space that I would take people to, even though they didn't know it, I would do it. I would just take them there and be like, okay, so you're here, and there's a beautiful field of yellow flowers, and just kind of start everybody off there, and they had no idea that that's where they were
I see. So when is the first time that you actually went there?
Um, Consciously, when I knew it when I woke up, June 6th, 2006.
And what was the experience exactly? Were you asleep? Were you meditating?
I
W-
Yes, I was asleep, and it was a place that when I got there, I was like, "Wow, this looks familiar to me." But in that moment, that was when Chico kind of broke all of my boundaries and broke through, and we ended up having our first sort of conversation. It wasn't really a conversation, it was like 3 words. But we I ended up just catching a glimpse of this place, and I was like, "What is this pla It's so familiar to me. What is it?" And the more I would meet with him, the more I would discover that, wait a minute, it's not just a field, and the field's not only yellow, there's other stuff going on here. And I originally thought it was just because I was wakening up, like I was like waking it up and my conscious brain was like getting clued into all of this stuff, which is partly true. It was partly true. My conscious brain was getting clued in. I just didn't have an understanding that it's actually a real place and not my imagination running wild.
So when you say Chico, you are talking about your twin flame, correct?
Yeah,
And
that's,
he has already passed over.
yeah. It'll
Okay.
actually be 30 years in October since he passed away.
Okay.
And I didn't know him when he was here on the side. I didn't meet him or anything like that. And so when I first encountered him, and I wrote about that whole experience in the book, but I was kind of like, "Ooh, who are you and what do you want?" And he probably could have said, "Take me to your leader," and I would have been like, but he didn't say that. But I was clueless at first, and of course, um, resisted every step of the way. And but he just kind of took my hand and waited for me to be ready, take the next step, and
And then that is when he showed you Arcan?
yeah,
And then you said awaken. When you say awaken, you're talking about spiritual awakening, correct?
yeah, I'm talking about that because my brain, my actual soul has been going there since it was created, and it's millennia old. In this lifetime, I started going there when I was a young child, but I didn't know that that's where I was going. It was kind of like, you dream about a field of yellow flowers and you're having like a little house in the prairie experience, you know? You're not thinking that it's an actual place. And
Right.
so when I finally got clued in, my conscious brain got clued into, what was really going on, I was kind of like, wow. So then I had to learn everything I could possibly learn about this place. And
And what is this place? Describe it, because I know we had talked before that you've done readings for people or you've talked to people, and they've actually described this in between city world,
yeah,
even down to like the logo, we'll say. And you thought it was only you and your imagination, though you knew it wasn't your imagination, you knew it was something more. But now
yeah.
you've come to realize that other people go there. So what is it?
Well, originally, I thought it was just literally a field of yellow flowers, but actually, it's its own little world. It starts with the field of yellow flowers, but it's an island bordered by 4 different oceans. There's actually beach on one end, cliffs on the other, and then on either side, there's different kinds of wood. And it's its own. I know it sounds like I'm lost in kind of like a fantasy novel, and sometimes it feels like that. But in this world contains the energy and vibration of myself, my twin flame, everyone that we've encountered there, and it also has like a educational vibe. So like at the core of it, at the heart of art, and we're actually learning and evolving on a soul level. So every time someone visits there, even if they don't really know what's going on, they're actually learning and growing, which is great.
So what are you learning there when you visit, and how often do you visit?
Oh my gosh, pretty much. Well, what am I learning there? It depends on what I set my intention for. Like it's anything from I want to just chill in the field under the tree and chat with Chico and be like, dude, what happened to you today? Or it could be I need to learn about this particular principle and everything I've read online is messing with my head. So I'm going to go to my angel school and I'm going to learn from those in the on the other side of the higher vibration, like angels, guides, masters. I'm going to ask them these questions, which is how I learned about twin flames, by the way. I went
What do
to
you
this
mean?
happy little school.
Really?
Yeah, I said, okay, I'm confused. What is this? Online Google is crap. So tell me what it is, you know? And I remember going to this building and be like, oh, baby, what is this? And I walked in and there's Archangel Gabriel. I said, okay, well, you're the one I need to ask my question to, apparently. Because I just learned about you and you're like really good at this communication stuff. So answer this question for me and explain it to me like I'm four. And that's how I learned about twin flames. And it was funny. He grabbed a deck of cards and used it to explain the concept of souls and evolution in twin flames. And it was I could do it, but sadly I don't have a deck of cards and it would take a while.
Wow. Wow. That, and you said that is Archangel Gabriel.
Yes.
Oh, that's intense. So when you say you go to angel school there, what do you mean by that?
Angel School is just a nickname. This building is you step into this building and it's like a building of higher energy. So God, master, angel, even loved ones who are kind of vibing on that higher vibration, maybe like a guide or something like that, come into this building to educate people. Mostly me because, I'm in resistance and confusion a lot of times. So, and I literally, every time I close my eyes, every time I go to sleep, every time I'm in meditation, I can walk into my bedroom and close the door and turn off the lights, and I'm there in Arkin. Like it's just automatic now. So we're talking about a lot of time I spend there, which is crazy. I'm constantly asking questions and trying to understand, whatever confusion happens. It's like a daily thing. So and I also bring people there when I teach courses. I'm actually channeling that energy. I'm actually bringing you into that vibration with, without
And
knowing.
who do you bring with you when you go to Arkan? And how do you bring them with you?
Well, let's say we're doing a guided meditation, and I will ask the team, hey, which part of Arkin are we going to? And my team will be like, okay, we're going to check this place out today. And so literally, they will give me the information, in a channeled guided meditation. But there are three ways to get to Arkin. One is a white door. One is a fence into the field of yellow flowers, and then the other one's kind of my own special back door that I don't tell anybody. But I think you might know what it is. But um, and so I basically energetically opened that door, or I had the person open the door. Like we did a guided meditation not that long ago, and I said, okay, you see that white door there? It's got a blue handle. Whenever you're ready, open it. And you're there. No matter what meditation we're doing, no matter what vibration or intention that we've set previously, it starts with that blue door coming into Arkin, and then we go from there, no matter what it is.
And why would someone, I'm just curious because if you're in a meditation, what would be the reason for them to want to go there?
um, well, I don't actually tell people, hey, I'm taking you to my spiritual home. Hi, welcome. I don't actually tell them that unless I literally say, hey, we're doing a guided meditation to Arkin. what I do is I use that energy and that knowledge and that learning vibration to help guide them through whatever course or whatever meditation I'm doing. Like the other night we did a intro to Atlantis where everybody got to visit Atlantis. I took them to Arkin first and just kind of utilize that energy to help them get acclimated to the higher vibration and then took them to Atlantis. So, yeah, I don't remember. I channeled it. I have no idea. But that's just one example of, I don't know how many times I've done it. But I never say, oh, hey, let's go to Arkin, and I'm always surprised because afterwards, I'll ask for some kind of feedback if anybody wants to share. And inevitably, every single time, somebody will tell me something that they've experienced that I recognize as a part of Arkin. And I don't, it just means I did it right, it's a little bit validating.
Fascinating. So what do you think Arcan is? If when you go into meditation and you're going with other people meditation and you're all going to the same place, what do you think it is?
I honestly think it's literally a higher vibration that sort of like at its core is healing and loving and learning. And my twin flame and I have turned it into our own little world. But I think that's what the spark was originally. It was just that beautiful, healing, loving vibration, which is why whenever you go there, and I dare everybody to go, I dare you, set your intention and go. That's literally all it takes. I'm not even joking. Open the door with the blue handle. There you go. Come on in. We'll wait for you. But I think that was at its core at the beginning. The reason it was so easy for us to take and expand it into I call it my own little world, our own little world. I mean, there are beings that live there. There are loved ones. My dad has a house there. He sits by the lake and fishes, even though there's no fish in the lake. Um, but and it's interesting that I my people will actually meet my father at the lake, and
Oh, wow.
the only reason they know he's my dad is because he looks just like me. I had a person come up. I did a meditation for someone, like, I don't know, like a month ago now, and afterwards she came up to me and was like, "I swear to God, I saw you. You were sitting by the lake, but you had a ball cap on. It was so weird because you had a beard." I was like, "That was my dad." Like you met my dad. Did you have a conversation with him? I'm like, "He
That
might."
is amazing. We are almost out of time. I just want to make sure everyone can visit you. She is on Instagram under
Leslie Sampson 333.
333, and you also have a website, which is
LeslieSampson.com.
yes. So you can find her book on Twin Flames there, and you can also find oh, you can also find her new book. Well, not for quite a while, because I think you're in the middle of actually writing that.
I am. I get to a point where I'm just like, and then I hit a roadblock. Because I'm sharing stuff I've never shared in its entirety before with anyone. And I mean, there are people who know bits and pieces, but no one knows the entire story. So I'll hear roadblock and I'm just like, oh no, I have to talk about that. I've never talked about that ever. And so it's taking me a little bit longer, but eventually it'll be there.
Oh no, you'll definitely write it, and I think you should. I think that your guides want you to get it out. We do have just a little bit more time. I want to ask you because I found this interesting. You had said that you and your twin created this, and I have found that with twins, we are to create different worlds, different settings. Do you think that was part of your soul's journey with your twin to create a world and then have others come?
I think so. I do because it's, you know, with all the people I worked with in working with Twin Flames and then also doing the research and writing the book, I learned that most Twin Flames, when they come together, no matter how they come together, they have their own private space.
Right.
And, you know, it goes from, you know, having your own world on the other side or the higher side to having a favorite soda shop, you know, so yeah, I think it's a
It's amazing. It's amazing. And thank you, Leslie, for coming on the show. Namaste to you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And we will see you again next week.